33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. The world will end, His word will not. In today's reading, we are reminded of the end of the time, or the end of the world. The first reading tells us of Michael, the great prince. Not me, but the Archangel Michael. Saint Michael is the guardian of the Catholic Church. He protects us from the wickedness and snares of the devil. Revelation 12, verse 7 through 9. Michael will appear during a time of distress in the world. The dead will rise and will join those who are written in the book or who are saved. Luke 10, verse 20, Revelation 20, verse 15. Judgment will then follow. No one will escape this day. Luke 23, verse 30, Revelation 6, verse 16. It will be too late for atheists and others who live into this day rejecting God, including those who knew Christ and the Catholic faith but refused to be part of both. Matthew 7, verse 23. However, we must not fear this day. Revelation 22, verse 20. If we live as we must live in grace, do what is asked of us by Christ and His church, we will be fine. We will shine brightly like the stars forever and prepare for the Lord, who is our inheritance, as the psalm tells us. God is indeed our inheritance. The reason why we are even Catholic is because we want God. Being Catholic is not being part of a social club or something like that. Instead, being Catholic is taking responsibility for our lives and the lives of others by trying our best to be holy and call others to holiness with love and not judgment. 1 Peter 1, verse 16. God is whom we await, especially as we approach Advent. We will be glad and will rejoice when we finally inherit God, for now we encounter Him via the sacraments, especially the Holy Eucharist. In the second reading, we read of the vain attempt of Jewish priests who offer sacrifices daily in atonement for sins, but these sacrifices did nothing to remove them. Leviticus 21. Instead, the one and only priest, Jesus, sacrificed Himself for all. Romans 3, verse 25. He took His seat next to the Father and awaits there until all enemies become His footstool. Jesus waits now until the day comes when He returns to judge the living and the dead. The Gospel tells us of this day. There will be great tribulation before it happens. Matthew 24, verse 6. We saw this week the horrors of terrorism and the attack of Paris. While this was going on, Japan had an earthquake and a minor tsunami. These events add more emphasis to the Gospel in today's context. Jesus describes how the cosmos will change. The sun will go dark, the moon will not have light, the stars will fall from the sky. Isaiah 13, verse 10, and chapter 34, verse 4. These are metaphorical statements using apocalyptic language of the time. The sun will go dark one day after it runs out of fuel. All scientists agree on this. Naturally, without the sun, the moon will not have light to reflect to Earth. Stars will not fall because they are light years away, but the point is made. It will be a big event that alters the universe. As a student of science, what comes to mind here is the universe collapsing on itself. This will most definitely present itself as Jesus described. This, of course, is just my way of seeing it from a scientific standpoint, and it's not theological. Anyhow, Jesus will come in the clouds with His angels. The elect, or those who fought the good fight and did not fail, will be gathered. 2 Timothy 4, verses 7 and 8, and Matthew 25, verses 31 and 30 through 46. The judgment will follow, of course. Jesus reminds us that this day will be noticeable to all via the signs, just like the fig tree and its branch become tender and grow leaves, indicating that summer is near. The earth and heaven will pass away, but Jesus makes it clear that His word will not pass away. Isaiah 40, verse 8. Jesus closes by stating something that many Protestant sects seem to ignore. But on that day or hour, no one knows. If I had a dime for every time I heard a Pentecostal, Baptist, or Adventist Preaching on the street about Christ coming at a so-and-so time, I will be a millionaire. This is nonsense. Jesus made it clear that no one knows exactly when. Our job is not to play guessing games on this day, but to prepare for it. Hosea 10 verse 12, Matthew 24 verses 42 and 43, Matthew 25 verses 1 to 13, and 1 Corinthians 16 verse 13. Also, 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 6. We can only know when it is near. The Church teaches us what we must look for in the Catechism in paragraph 668 and through 677. First, Christ will reign through his Catholic Church, which is happening right now. Catholic churches all over the world is a strong organization, a strong institution. Next, all things must be subjected to him. The full inclusion of the Jews in the Messiah's salvation, in the wake of the full number of Gentiles. After this happens, the church will face her biggest trial ever when the Antichrist comes. Let us be watchful, pray, and be holy always. No one knows when the day or hour will come. In the meantime, let us prepare by growing in grace, love, and hope, and by calling others to it, by inviting them to the Catholic faith not only with words, but with our witness. May Jesus Christ return soon, and may he have mercy on us all.